If there's anything Ducktales is about, besides, the adventures of a ridiculously wealthy adventure capitalist, it's family. It's one of the defining factors that separates the adventures of the classic comics from the animated shows. The people that help Scrooge McDuck become a more compassionate and caring person. Even so, there are two people in Scrooge's family that just don't come up very often.
Daddy. Mummy.
These are the secrets of Castle McDuck. Scrooge McDuck is so old, we usually don't give much thought to his parentage, except for the occasional glance at the McDuck family tree. Disney's Ducktales reboot, however, is putting it right in our face. His parents are still alive.
Your parents are alive? I can't believe you're still alive!
Apparently, that's what happens when you rebuild the ancestral castle out of discount druid stones.
I very kindly rebuilt our ancestral castle for them. And I may have used some discount mystical druid stones that accidentally granted them immortality.
Officially, Scrooge is back in Scotland to find the lost treasure of the Knights Templar, but that treasure just happens to be in the McDuck ancestral home, which means he needs to pay a visit to his parents. It also means we get a rare look at his family history, a bunch of generations going back that we normally don't see in Ducktales. And that's really exciting, not just for us, but also for a certain duckling who kind of can't handle it.
Oh, yeah.
Webby might be overloaded by being surrounded by McDuck history, but for the boys, all it really means is it can lead to one thing: an opportunity to make fun of their Uncle Donald. But finding a childhood portrait of their uncle leads Dewey to a clue that he thinks could lead to more information about their long-lost mother, Della Duck. Dewey isn't so sure that he wants to share this clue with his brothers, though. I mean, they've already found it, but he's the only one that knows it has anything to do with their mom, and so he's trying to protect them. At least that's what he thinks. But it's kind of hard on him, because although he keeps trying to distract them from the mystery that they found behind their Uncle Donald's portrait, they just keep solving all the clues.
How am I supposed to protect them from the truth if they keep helping me find it?
It doesn't take long before Dewey's plan to protect his brothers falls apart, and he has to tell them that he's been researching their mother and keeping secrets from them. And it almost tears the three of them apart.
You kept a secret about Mom. That is not okay.
It's a heavy scene, because for these kids, they've never really known their mother. It's something they've all really wanted to learn about for their entire lives. And they find out that one of them knows, and he's been keeping a secret from them this whole time. Fortunately, they don't have time to unravel because they're being chased by some sort of demon dog. And while they get over this attack of this demon dog, they reconcile. But not before finding one more clue.
The Spear of Selene! Now we know what it looks like!
That's right, the Spear of Selene that Della took from Scrooge McDuck was, in fact, apparently a ship. And I knew it all along. Well, more specifically, Dutch comic books knew it all along. But that's really exciting to see this theory pan out into something a little less literal than an actual spear. And I'm really excited to see where this goes next. The boys aren't the only ones resolving family issues either. Scrooge and his old man are sort of at odds with each other. They can't get along and they're always fighting. And this rivalry is actually one of my favorite things about the episode. It's not often when we get to see Scrooge genuinely frustrated at someone that's getting the better of him and besting him, and not in a villainous or mean way either. This is just his father, who's always been better at arm wrestling than him and is just a little bit more clever than Scrooge is really ready to put up with. And watching them go at each other is, I just find it really endearing and closer to sort of how my relationship is with my father as an adult. When you're a kid, your father is this thing on a pedestal, but as an adult, he's almost kind of like your buddy in some ways, someone you can sort of pal around with and make jokes with, but not on a completely equal level. The dad always sort of still has the upper hand, and it's fun to see Scrooge being put in that place by his own father here.
Arm wrestling match, you and me, right now!
As much as fun as watching that rivalry is, it's actually a lot more than that. It's actually an incredibly important character moment for Scrooge McDuck, and one we've never seen before. At one point in the comics, it's revealed that the first dime Scrooge ever earned, his #1 lucky dime, was actually worthless, an American dime in Scotland. It was a scam his father set up in his first job so his son would learn to work hard, smart, and not be tricked. Not only does it work, but it's a pivotal moment in the character's development. And in the comics, Scrooge never learns that his father had any part of it. Disney's Ducktales reboot, on the other hand, actually shows us that for the first time ever.
What?
We were poor. I couldn't provide for you myself, so I had to give you a different gift. Self-reliance, teaching you to work hard and fend for yourself so that you'd become the man you are now.
That might seem like a small detail, but it's really exciting for me. It's an aspect of Scrooge's life that we've never examined before, both his relationship with his father and how he would react to knowing the secret behind his #1 dime, the one mystery of his life he doesn't even know exists. Because the reboot likes to change things up and add characters and mess with the timeline a little bit, it allows us to see these stories, and I think that's really fun. It's also worth mentioning that, like in so many episodes, Launchpad, again, is just totally the best. While trying to get his parents to believe that he's a family man, so his father will help him find the treasure of the Templar, Scrooge convinces Launchpad to dress up like Donald and pretend to be his nephew. It's great, but extremely awkward. Launchpad is terrible at it. But all that awkwardness is worth it for just this.
Oh no!
There he is!
There's actually a ton more going on in this episode, and you should definitely watch it. It's easily one of my favorite episodes of the series so far. Not just because it has a bunch of fun character moments and a huge amount of development for the Della Duck story, but because it gives us this really fun backstory on Scrooge, a lot of fun Launchpad jokes, and a little bit of Webby's obsessiveness getting the better of her. That's it for this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more of these videos, feel free to hit the like and subscribe buttons or click on my other videos. If you're not interested in that, I don't know why you stuck around to this end screen, but you're here, so maybe click on those things anyway. Or don't. Either way, have a good time out there, and take it easy, Internet. Thumbs.